This is the Denver yarn. Did you know that? We got a special guest today.
Something's wrong.
Get out of here, mate.
I'm all yours.
Get out. Welcome back. It's been a short intermission. We're back for Road to the Draft. Just a short little break.
Short little break. Shit got busy, Hayden.
You know, we just need to. We're busy people.
Yeah.
We're getting big. We're businessmen.
And so the people we're getting
We've got
on.
so much to do, and these people actually have careers to focus on.
Yes.
Unsurprisingly. On that, Seb, who is joining us today?
Well, we've got a man that's making his third appearance today, Hayden.
Yep.
Denver Grainger-Barras, and he's been teaching us, and we appreciate that. But we thought, who's teaching Denver? And we thought we'd get the man that taught him from his young years in high school, Aaron Black, and he's also the West Perth captain now. He's a waffle legend, so we'll get him in here.
And
There they are.
the voice behind our intro.
And the voice behind his intro,
So
too.
let's go, boys, come in.
Whoa!
there they
Look
are,
at these big
fellas.
boys. Blacky,
How are you? Pleasure to see you.
Denver
Oh,
once
geez.
again crossing over.
Excited to get you on, fellas. Denver, obviously, we'll start with you. You haven't had the best of luck here. You're yet to win a game of pig. What work have you been putting in since we saw you last?
Not much, to be honest.
Oh,
In the pig realm, to be honest with you boys, but
That's not good enough. We'll see how it pans
Don't
out
worry
today.
about it.
Now,
I'll
Blacky,
show up.
waffle legend, as I said, he's joined us today. He's taught two of the greats of footy, both myself and Denver, two draft prospects of this year. Hayden, obviously, you will learn some stuff today, so that'll be exciting to see. But you looking forward to it, Blacky?
I am, mate. I've seen some of the work you guys are doing, and it's bloody good. I'm looking forward to it.
Let's do it. Warm-up time, very important, especially for old like Blacky here, who's been around the joint a few times. Now, it's also important that we should mention, Hayden, in about 1 week and 28 hours, these blokes will be on this ground going head-to-head in the first round of the footy season, which is going to be very
this
exciting
very
stuff.
ground,
This
yes.
very
if
ground.
Blacky gets a call up.
If Blacky gets the call, we hope he does as a captain. But Blacky, tell us, what's the importance of a warm-up?
Well, mate, I'll tell you one thing. The older you get, you're right, they are bloody important. Just a bit of injury prevention when you get to my age.
Yeah, okay.
So you might need a bit of that as well,
Yeah.
mate.
Alright, now, Blacky, you like to think of yourself as one of the, big endurance players of the waffle. If we were young lads like Denver, a lot of talent, and maybe not like Denver, need to work on our fitness and our running, what would you recommend for us?
Mate, Denver's been asking me for tips, and he's been sliding into my DMs, mate. He's been asking me. I'll keep it pretty simple for you guys today, but we'll go between the 50s. So between these 50s, about 50 to 60%. From 50 through the goal square to the other 50, centre square, sorry, you're about 85, 90%, and then you can slow it down to the back end.
So for Seb, it's probably just 100% monotone pace all the way.
That's all Sebby's got. Come on, you two, when you get to the square, give it a bit. Get out of first gear, Sebby. Sebby, you're moving backwards. Now, Doochie, you're on like a goose. Move, come on. Never gonna go anywhere running like that. You are never gonna make it with that attitude, son. I have nightmares about that missed goal in the goal square. You're 11, nightmares.
Running's done, a bit of skills drill now. Now, Blacky, you're a midfielder. It's important when you're running from the midfield going towards the forward 50, the best way to pick out a man, the best way to get it out. How do you do it? You're under so much pressure. What's that like?
Oh, kick it to grass and have limited kicking ability like me and Seb. I reckon that's about all you need.
Fair enough.
Denver, you're the premier intercept marker of this year's draft crop. All the papers have been saying your head is getting a little bit larger. Might have to make the cap a bit bigger to fit that. But tell us, what does make for a great intercept marker like yourself?
Yeah, thanks Seb for that.
That's okay.
I don't know. I think being a good intercept marker isn't just about marking. I think it's the ability to know when to go. So when to leave your player, when to play lockdown, or when to leave and fly. Because being an intercept marker is sort of the art of coming off your man and having the ability to impact off your player. But if you messed it up, it's costly most of the time because you leave the most dangerous man behind you. So
Interesting. All right, we'll get some skills into that then, Hayden.
Let's do it.
See how we go.
Divide and conquer. So whichever way the defender goes, I'm going the other way. That's my tips for hitting the forward leading at you. Let's see if it works right now. Let me miss it!
Before we get into the massive pig game with Denver still 0 wins, Blacky making his debut today, we thought we'd do a bit of a kick to kick, get the legs really ticking over so we can get warmed in.
And there'll be a few hamstrings blown knowing Seven Eyes kicking. It's been a while, so.
It's not bad receiving from what they call the Prince of Perth, old Aaron Black, Waffle League captain. He's going to go down as one of the greats, and you know what? He's not bad of a teacher either. He obviously produced some great talent in myself, so you know he's got a pretty good resume.
Tell you what, with Aaron Black's frame this year, I think we're a good chance round one. Up the Swannies.
Now, I know Blacky likes to rate himself as a footy player, and he's a damn good one too, but he mustn't be a very good footy teacher judging by Seb's skills or lack thereof.
Taken Mark of the Year once before, and in 1 week's time I'm taking it again on Denver.
Kick to kick done. It's what we're all waiting for now, the big game of pig. Blacky, we'll start with you. Obviously, we know you're a big fan of the show. We know you watch every episode. How have you been preparing yourself for this game of pig?
Big game players. It's a big moment.
Yep.
It's time to stand up, I reckon, and this is the one. You can't let Denver get his win yet.
Yeah, no way.
And yeah, Denver, we said earlier, you said you didn't put much time and effort into it over the break. Is that sort of just a you've already given up thing? You know, you're 0 for 2.
No, I think it's more I've just been sitting in the back line, just watching really.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, that's all really. I don't think I need much skill.
Just learning the
you
craft.
lads.
All right.
Well,
Like
if we've learned anything from this game, these games are pig, you know, 7 out of 4 wins between us. Skill is definitely not necessary to win a game of pig. All you need is luck, grit, determination, and luck.
We're going traditional old drop punt. On the full, Denver.
Early doors, I'm going to make a call here, and Seb looks dangerously on, as much as I hate to say it. So I'm going to just try and play him in his own game, just a routine dribble from one post. No, just routine. Oh!
60 out, straight in front. Everyone's on P, so it's a good start here, so I need this one.
Yeah, I'm not much of a skillful player, so I like these attempts is what they are. I'm just going to try and snap from behind the goals. No vision.
Yeah, look, it was rough pickings today. Not a big fan of Steel Blue. Just don't like the energy that's going on here. It's been a rough break, but I know I'll come back stronger next week where we really pump out the recordings and maybe go for 3 or 4 in a row.
Straight in, drop punt, just real basic stuff, but I'm a dead eye is what I am.
Flat as it lies, soccer it from 20 out. Here we go.
Yeah!
That's
Basically,
Woo!
Tried it once already, but we'll go drop punt, nice high fade, let it fall into the goals.
end of the day, this is what we wanted, neck and neck, teacher versus student. You know, they're trying to act all, you know, friendly and stuff, but deep down we know this means a lot to both of them. They've been talking it up all week, and tensions are very high here at Steel Blue.
Running at the boundary line here, drop punt, a little bit of outswing, test Denver's things out.
I'm gonna add a bit of hand skills to it. So I'm gonna throw it up, spin it to myself. Whilst I'm running, I'm gonna grab it and have a shot similar to Blacky's.
Do I have to throw it?
Alright, tough game at Pig. It was hard fought. 7, I really put you two to the test, but at the end of the day, those with actual skill rose to the top today. It was a tough battle. Blacky, what were your thoughts on the battle?
Mate, I'll let the young calf take it from the old bull. I probably should have won it, but you know, he got me with a bit of range, I think. Bit of distance out there, got me covered.
So what have you learned for next time?
For next time?
What have you learned?
You won't
need
be
luck.
next time with that boot.
You need luck, and that's all you need.
And Denver, obviously you've come a long way. After an 0-2, you've gone back to the drawing board on 2 occasions. How does it feel to finally conquer?
Yeah, look, they say, what's the saying? Third time lucky, but I really think it had nothing to do with luck.
Okay.
I think it was purely skill. Like I said, I went back home after the first 2 losses and really got into some hard practice, really worked on it, like I said earlier.
No effort.
Yeah, all the missed efforts, they were just trying to keep the game lively and everyone in it. But in the end, you got to do what you got to do, and I taught these old folks a lesson.
All right, so that wraps us up for today's affairs. Denver, you snuck away with a win today. You'll come on again, and 7-0 will show you what we're truly really about. Thought we'd give you one here, but we'll get into some questions. Blake, we're starting off with you. Obviously, you've known Denver for a while, since he was a wee lad. When was it that you sort of saw Denver and sort of thought, gee, this kid's not too bad at footy?
He was a wee lad bigger than me in year 10, so how about I'll be the wee lad? Me and Denver were actually speaking about it before. There was a mark against Mazenod in a final game.
Where was I?
The bench.
On the bench sitting next to me.
I played 2 hours early in the B game.
He just let out a full forward. You know, it was a long kick to the junction of the 50, and he come from sort of 3 or 4 deep. It was a genuine pack mark with a fair bit of pressure, and that's when I sort of rolled over to Cliffo at the time, who was Denver's other coach, and said, this kid can play. And then there was all the news about him.
Did you do that?
He did. I thought he couldn't kick at first, but he actually started using the ball a little bit better, which is good to see. But that was probably one of the moments where I thought that's one of the better things that I've seen from a young kid.
Yeah. Did I kick the goal?
I think he did. 50. Outside 50 on the junction. In a final.
Now, Denver, obviously you've been privileged enough to go to school as well as me with a Sandover medalist. You'd obviously taken a lot of advice. Is there anything specific that stood out, and what sort of help has Blacky given you over the years?
Yeah, look, it was more Cliffo, the other teacher. No, Blacky's been crazy good, and not just in terms of football. There's so many different aspects of life that I've learnt and developed personally through Blacky. So I think, but in terms of football, you're not wrong. A Sandover medalist, one of the greatest in the waffle, currently and still going. So I've been sure to pick his brains whenever I can and gain knowledge, about footy, about life, about everything. So
not many people want to hang around me all that often, and Denver keeps seeming to want to hang around. So
and Denver, you made your league debut last year. Like, you were there, fortunate enough to watch. How was that, that privilege to get on there and make that league debut? And Blackie, what was it like finally getting to see him play at the same level that you were playing?
Well, firstly, it's funny, you never think you're going to be the old guy who plays with his students, because I remember Dion Flay, who's an assistant with us now, played against one of his students here when he played Swan Districts, playing for West Perth. So I kind of realised him at the back end of my career, and it's pretty cool to see some of the guys that you've worked with, at school and then outside of school, in Denver, really perform well and not look out of place as a 17-year-old kid. Obviously had maybe a tiny bit to do with it, but he's got a fair bit of natural talent, and he learnt the majority of this stuff.
And Denver, obviously, you made your league debut. How did you find that last year?
Yeah, it was a whirlwind. It was a massive experience. I think coming off the back of the 18s champs, which was another amazing experience, to then get given the opportunity to play for a senior side as a young gun in a way, it was a massive honour.
Jeez, young,
in the gun young talent, young player. was a it was a massive, I don't know,
Achievement, yeah.
Yeah.
And now, obviously, round one's been released for the Waffle season. You two, well, seeing as Denver gets a call up to the league, do you know if you're going to play a league next week?
It's unknown, so we've got a practice match this week.
Yeah,
I'm in the A side, but if I play good, hopefully I'll top the spot.
Now, if you do end up going head to head, what sort of lip are you going to plan to give Denver or vice versa? Is there any sort of
A bit of banter going back and forth about the mark of the year
I think
situation. So
I think I'll have to come out the square early.
Yeah, okay.
And probably I don't know,
Just
maybe
take him
first
out,
contact
take him
at the
out early?
beginning.
Yeah.
No, I was just thinking more so have him at the base of the pack.
Yeah, okay.
Good set of shoulders on him, so I should be able to sit pretty and hold the spot up top.
I've dealt with a few bigger frames in Denver, so I reckon I'll be alright.
You'll be alright.
Alright,
Don't
and finally, it's a big year for Denver, you know, and it's going to be a tough one because there's a lot of missed opportunities with what has happened. Your goal is obviously going to be to play a lot of league footy. Blacky, what advice do you have for Denver in terms of playing league footy throughout the year and just in terms of his draft year in general?
I guess keep doing what he's doing. He's put himself in a pretty good spot to be an 18-year-old kid, made his league debut already. You know, he's a genuine opportunity to play league round one with the resume that he's got and the things that he's doing. So he's obviously training the right way and put his best foot forward. So it really is just about taking the opportunity when it comes, and it is going to come. You know, he's the prototype size for league football and for AFL footy. So you know, keep training to the maximum capacity you can. And don't step back to anyone really, because you're going to get a lot of blokes who are going to want to take you off a certain man or a certain throne. And if your head's in the right place and you're moving in the right direction, then you're going to be fine.
Now, just finally, you obviously had, as we mentioned earlier, you had the privilege of teaching both me and Denver footy. And what's been talked around town, obviously, it's been building up over the course of the year and leading into the draft. Who was the better natural talent, would you say, between myself and Denver?
You have some very, very good talent, Sebi. Natural sporting talents may not be it.
Talking
Yeah, you do a fair bit of talking, which is not a bad talent on the footy field. So that's not a bad one, I'll give you that.
I'll take that.
Your pig game's alright too.
Yeah, not too bad at all. So,
dribbler.
recruiters out there,
Now,
Take it from
we
here.
say that
Expansive
your big
footy.
game, you've told us a story before on the podcast.
Oh,
I want the
this isn't-
story again in depth.
this is not.
You were there as well. I'm
Yeah.
The
fairly
story
sure.
has been twisted.
I'll be
Second
happy.
one, the goal scorer. Just you boys know what it is.
I'd be
Take it from
happy
the
as a player to give my perspective. Yeah. So
Take it, man.
what was the team we were versing? It was a
Clontarf.
Mandra. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
I'm pretty sure
It
it's
wasn't.
Clontarf.
Because it was in Highway.
Mandra.
It was Mandra. That
was
was
in
it.
Kalamunda,
Mandra
though.
Catholic College, whatever it was.
We played a colour.
No, we didn't. You're ignorant.
This is ridiculous. How does it change location? This is what I mean.
Basically.
The story's been twisted. How? I never went to Mandra. I was never good enough to
Seb,
go to
Seb,
Mandra.
Seb.
I wasn't worth the
Seb.
spot on the bus.
It's Denver's story.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Go on.
Footy was in forward 50 for Darling Range at the time, and I remember sending it in or something like that.
There was no one
Keyshawn
inside
Cook.
50.
Yeah, Keyshawn Cook, one of the other players, took a solid mark and wheeled straight away to see Sever leading backwards to the goal. Got in a really good spot, Sever did.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, it didn't hit him lace out.
No.
It didn't. But Seb did really well. He gathered correctly,
Yeah.
and I think he just got confused with the pressure of the game and
Nah.
saw the point section of the goals as the goals and decided to boot it through there and have a little cheeky celebration.
I never celebrated.
It was just
His arm
It was
went up,
hands in the arms.
and then
straight
the goal
away.
umpire's arm went up for a point, and Seven was confused at his bar.
You know, the story's good and all, but should we just go out there and recreate it?
Seven's heart couldn't take
I
it.
can't. Well, boys, it's been a privilege to have you both on. We appreciate you. Won't be coming on now that you brought up the story, so just soak it up now while you can. But no, it's been great having you on. Denver, no doubt, will keep in contact with you, Blacky, as well. The Prince of Perth, they call him actually, or Blacky next to me, so
Prince
no
of
doubt we'll
North
see him.
League.
Yeah, so we'll see him out, and good luck for the rest of you both.
Thank you.
So you boys have a good one.
Aids.